Alright, so given how pretty good I got the other day at these, came as something of a shock to me to start a minute or so ago. I had, well, I got a message on Discord, and actually, did I then mute Discord afterwards? I don't remember. Yeah, okay. I went on to mute Discord. That was the reason I went on, but yeah, then got a message asking me to test something out with DLU. Did that. And I'm back. But yeah, my first attempt at these today, despite how well it was going the other night, wow, I had gone significantly worse in the intervening time. I seem to have be picking it back up again somewhat, but yeah, wow, it was quite. I was genuinely concerned that this wasn't live accurate and that Uchu had just accidentally patched it. Okay, that was a bad start there. And yeah, starting spamming too early because I'm feeling like I don't have enough clearance. Yeah, I can now feel on those ones where I like definitely am starting too early. The ones where I lunge forwards. However, regardless, I am still significantly worse than I was the other day. That wasn't yesterday, actually, was it? Whenever it was. Too early again. Really is the trick of just waiting until I've reached the peak. The second I see myself move down. But I'm falling more than I was the other day. That's better. Okay. Okay, there we are. Getting back into the rhythm of it. Yeah, so as I mentioned at the start of the previous video, that is now never going to see the light of day, I'm not going to attempt to talk about like deep topics or anything in this because it's quite hard to simultaneously concentrate on doing this and hold a conversation that isn't patronisingly dull and obvious. Like, there are topics that I would like to just ramble about at points in my life, and may do so on a video, but they're not the same ones that I would. That they're certainly not topics that I can discuss in a coherent, cognizant, and interesting fashion, whilst at the same time attempting to do a load of spring jumps in a row. But don't worry, because the hardcore LU runs will come where that will be a thing. Because like early hardcore LU, I really don't need to pay all that much attention. Okay, the issue there was I was doing 3 attacks every time. I should be doing 2. Like that, except better. that, except also better. But yes, the other night, if you haven't already seen it, there was the bug that I theorised a while back. Finally got some experimental confirmation of. Wow, it really is just a case of mash faster, and this works better. Not doing it well enough, but it's a case of know the cues and mash when you're like correct with the cues. Because yeah, it seems like height gain is largely dependent on like how you well, height gain depends on how far you fall, which is dependent on how fast your second attack comes after your first, or how soon it comes after your first. So yeah, you'll note I'm going for this strategy. I'm going for this strategy because until I get around there's no point in me going for a series of spring jumps that are actually further. Once I reliably can get close, then I'll either A, have made it, or B, I can start going for the slightly safer option in terms of actually making it. But for now, it makes sense to go for the... too soon. For now, it makes sense to aim for the harder but closer... So, riskier but closer option. Riskier but arguably easier. Because it is closer. Okay, so that was interesting. That seemed to happen when I touched the ground. Like, so that was, I was in the air, I'd done 2 attacks, I'd fallen, and then the second I hit the ground, I jumped upwards. It's almost as though the spring shoe thing was, yeah, had started during the other attack, which was a theory I had, so almost as though the attack had cancelled the momentum of the upwards jump of the spring shoes. Something like that. Lost height there. That was a good one. It was a good one, but then okay, maybe I do want to do 3 attacks. Okay, that was not what I wanted to do, but no, I don't want to do 3. Not necessarily, anyway. It does feel like I have a tendency to muck up more the closer I get. Presumably because the closer I get, the less I want to fall down, because falling down is like the thing which feels more in my control, which feels like I can prevent. It's not the case, but it's what it feels like a lot of the time. Go back to what I was before yesterday, which I think was, this was what I had on. Maybe I didn't. I think I might have just not even had the hat. Yeah, this was, okay, yeah, let's get back to this. Oh, no. I do still need, obviously, this. Oh, I say obviously. Perhaps not, obviously, but... I definitely don't have the right to say, obviously, given how much of a surprise it was for me when that turned out to be a necessary requirement for height gain on spring jumps. So yeah, for those who don't know, height gain on spring jumps is not possible with your fists, or at least not with any current knowledge that I have. I'm the only real person looking into these at the moment, so that kind of goes for the community in general. So yeah, there are no interesting discussion points planned for the entirety of this video. I will potentially endeavour to talk as I go, and I will discuss interesting bits of LU physics as they occur. And it seems my better runs I end up talking during anyway, but maybe that's just because they're long, and I'm British, and we have a fundamental need to fill silences. I fell whilst attacking on this run, and I managed. I hit. Okay, I guess this is where I move over. That's what happened there. Was I hit the invisible wall. I height gained too much. I'm fairly certain that's what's happened. That's what happened anyway. I didn't end that spring jump myself, and the only way to my and as a community to our current knowledge of ending spring jumps, there are 3 ways you can end spring jumps. You can end them A, through a timeout, B, through attacking whilst you're in midair, and C, from hitting something. I had yet to start attacking on that particular spring jump, and I attacked just after the peak, which occurs significantly before the timeout, so it wasn't an attack or a timeout, which meant I actually gained too much height there. Which means wow, that's bad. Note though, for height gain, or I guess just spring jumping in general, it's actually better to start spamming 5 earlier. God, this is going to be the most expensive out of bounds glitch ever. Because it takes 20 or 30 or so spring shoes to get over there from where I was starting. Now I'm going to be starting from further back. The cost could be cut down if you kind of just aimed better, or if I knew the height I need to get to, but I'm not confident. Or, yeah, if I had a good way of gauging height whilst in the air. But for now, I don't have that. Okay, that's a brilliant confirmation that the small spring jump glitch is nothing to do with hitting the physics left by your previous jump or anything like that, because the previous jump there was significantly higher than on the floor, and we know it's nothing to do with the floor itself as it is in Forbidden Valley, because I have done 100 spring jumps off of this floor. that's bad. Yeah, so the alternative option is I do start where I was. And I just really, really focus on height gain. Which might not be a bad idea, honestly. Because I can do height gain. That's the thing I can do. So I'm actually going to start... I'm going to... Wow, that was bad. I wonder if this is safer. Because I need to pull off fewer spring jumps to get there. There's going to be a whole art of knowing what height I'm at. Because there are certain bugs where if I get them, I'd want to go... So the forwards flying bug or upwards flying bug, I'd want to know what height I was at, because that would determine how I would react to getting that bug. Well, actually, if I'm at this angle, no, it wouldn't. Maybe I do just keep going like this, but really, really focus height. Because then worst case scenario, if I don't make it, I can go low. That seems like a reasonable idea. Aim primarily for height. If I don't get high enough, that's fine. If I do, that's even better. Wow, that's bad. It is. Yeah, I'm just really not consistent enough for this. Okay, that seemed to be one of those instances where I got stuck too low. Honestly, not certain to what extent I have the energy to keep trying these today. I do feel, I don't know, I feel to some extent as though I've got the tactics available. I've got the tactics, I know how this all works, it's a question of pulling it off. And that I am more willing to leave to other people. This does not mean that this is going to be NFLU content I'm recording today. It just means that the monotony of spring jumps has gotten to me. So yeah, I think that's going to be a bye for now. See ya.